Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I am coming to you off the back of a meant to be. So if I start crying, I apologize. I've just been car seat shopping and I cried in the shop and it's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm kind of like going through it at the moment and just having a little reflect on what I wanted to chat to you about and things like that, Walnut. But this episode this week is more about the topics that we've talked about multiple times on you know how we talked about on one of the episodes with Kate where matching someone else's, if their 100% is actually like your 5%, and matching those percents and matching energy levels. I'm kind of in a phase of sort of doing that, but like post having a baby. So I feel like it's kind of just a little bit more amplified because my time is much more precious. My attention span is much more sensitive. All of the things that I just don't really have space or capacity for what I used to be able to tolerate in situations. So I I'm in this place of with all of my relationships trying to match the energy that I'm given. And as a recovering people pleaser, Walnut, I'm finding it really, really difficult. And I'm finding myself feeling really guilty a lot of the time. And it's taking a lot of emotional intelligence to reality check myself and be like, you don't need to feel bad about that because that person didn't do it. And not in a throw my toys out of the cot kind of grumpy toddler sort of way, but more in a way of like just reality checking, just like hang on a minute to myself. So it's just something I'm really struggling with, and I know it's like a very broad topic, but it feels very, very all-consuming in my mind. So much so that I like had a spiral on the weekend, and I don't even know why. Like I was saying to my friend that I almost had like a Britney Spears moment, but I didn't shave my head. Like it was like kind of close. Like I don't even know. I just got on one. I just started like, um, it was just brunch with the girls and I had a couple mimosas and I thought, let's just ride this rodeo. And got myself in a strange situation and ended up at a house with the people and everything turned into this big huge mission and it was just all a bit silly. And then all of the next day I had dread, like the real life dread, not just like postpartum dread. I had real life anxiety dread of conversations I'd had, and I just wondered why did I have that little spiral? But it was because Walnut, I just wanted to feel free. I just wanted to feel a little sense of freedom and have loosey lips and just be loud and be vibrant because I feel so far from that version um of myself at the moment just because I don't know, I'm just having reflected back to me, Walnut, just like what what I put into relationships and what I get out of relationships and where I'm not being met with that same level. And that has been, like I say, because of all of the factors, because my time is much more precious and because of my attention span and my nervous system, my energy just not being able to hold what I used to be able to, um, that has been very, very like taking over my brain and making me feel a bit like nutty again. Like I feel quite crazy at the moment. And it's just touched out overstimulation. The usual hashtag mom life. No, I shouldn't make that's not normal. That I mean that it's normal, but it shouldn't be normal. I'm dilly-dallying. Um, but yeah, the feeling of it being a lot, the feeling of it being so much, um, just made me have a little spiral and made me go a little bit, just let my hair down a little bit. But I mean, it just wasn't the right time or place or context. And yeah, it wasn't a constructive letting my hair down. It was just a bit silly. And now I'm like, again, what a waste of time. And then I spent a whole day, a whole precious day, feeling just dread. Um, and so yeah, it's just something I'm really I'm really struggling with that, Walnut. I'm probably going to end up waffling along. And I had something else to say that has just fallen out of my butt. But yeah, I wanted to say it's also made me sometimes for me, when things get really big and wild and out of control in my head, I sometimes do isolate myself. And I do that thing where I think people are mad at me, or I make up an idea that they are going to be mad at me if I say something. And I put myself into my own little corner where I different myself from things. Even at the brunch, I was comparing myself, making myself not feel as good as a mom because lots of the people I was with have their own kids and their own experiences, and just making myself feel like a failure. And then I think when you have that already, those thoughts already, and then you're smacked in the face with where you're not being met at the same level from relationships where you give a lot more effort. Um, yeah, it feels really isolating and it feels really lonely, and it's made me not I was gonna say not ask for help. It's not that I don't need help, but I don't it makes it hard for me to accept support or accept grace or accept kind compassionate gestures. And so I've been also trying really hard this week to just say yes. For example, Louis' grandparents wanted to buy the car seat for us, which that's hard for me. Like I actually cried. I actually cried when Papa Walnut was like, "Yes, here's my card, and you go buy a car seat because you need one." And it was difficult for me to well, not difficult. I obviously said yes because it's something that I need and something that I can't, like why I'm gonna start crying again maybe. I, it was a stretch. It was a wall nutting for me to even take the card and say yes because I couldn't say no because I need one. I need those things. But there's an element of shame and pride and a bit of ego thrown in there um that I have to accept help. Um and that's that build up of the bully demon of the intrusive thoughts, making things feel so much bigger in my head when someone comes with a compassionate ear or um, something to give to me. I struggle with accepting or taking from someone else because I was going to say because it's not from the people that aren't meeting me where I'm meeting them. It's all a little bit of a he said, she said, time warpy, bloody. It's not really making any sense as not I hear what I'm saying coming out of my mouth and I know it's not making any rational sense, but I'm sure you can pick up the vibe and pick up what I'm putting down. I can't quite string together a sentence without it making me doubt myself and feel a bit more overwhelmed. So I'm clearly in the thick of it. But my lessons this week, Walnut, are to trust the village, to trust your support system, to trust that the people that love you do love you, and to maybe try and shine a little light in that direction. But also, and in the same breath, to look at the people that you do seem to shine more of your light onto, but if you're getting that same level of light back, or if it's met at a lower level. And I was going to say, and then try and match that level, but it's up to you how you want to proceed with that. But I think it just took me quite a long time, and it took me being postpartum and having yeah, just having time being of the essence, to really just notice that in a lot of my relationships that I have where I I just can't be bothered pushing extra into a place where I'm not getting extra back. Um, and balancing that out with, with really leaning into my village and my support network. Um, and remembering that that's where the input should be going, and the gratitude and the heavy feelings rather than feeling the resentment, just because somebody doesn't have the capacity to match you at that same level, sort of thing. So I hope this makes sense. And I hope you don't have a mentee bee today. I hope you're not too overwhelmed. And if you are, just know I'm there with you, and all we can do is just kind of ride the wave and get through it together. And you're not alone, and you're beautiful, you're sexy, and you're so delicious, and you're so wonderful. So just keep going. You've got this, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.